It was a really good opportunity for us. A Saturday afternoon game at the MCG against a team that is, one of the real growth teams in the competition and playing top-line footy. So, our job was to keep the pressure that we saw the players bring last week and keep building on that. We didn't want to just be identified as a team that played well last week, backs against the wall against Melbourne. We want to show what we really stand for on a more consistent level. So couldn't have asked for too much more from the boys. A lot of outstanding individual efforts. The guys who came in to replace the injured guys really played their roles well, and we had obviously two other changes with Redmond and Hooker coming into the lineup that we felt would give us really good balance in the back line, and I think we saw that. So overall, hopefully we've pulled up from the game pretty sound in terms of injuries, and we look forward to a big build-up to the game against the Kangaroos next week.
Okay, just before I start, just switch the camera to over there. You'll see our coaches having a look at Winks' replay. They're not looking at the stats at this stage from the game, they're looking at Winks. Anyway, from a defensive point of view, it's the lowest score we've kept an opposition down to. Brisbane young team, emerging young team, hit the scoreboard early, which enabled the defence to set up really well behind the ball. Hooker and Redmond came into the side and played their roles out to a T. It's important to get experience back in your back six, and Redmond really gives us that offence that we look for at times as well too. So, as I said, we got off to a really good start, and defensively a couple of times Brisbane rallied and came at us like we knew they would, particularly after half-time. They were really pressed hard, trying to get some sort of momentum, but to our boys' credit, we were able to defend those situations, particularly when they went in deep inside their 0 to 30 range. I thought our spoiling in and around that area was really good, and that we didn't allow them crumbing goals from those situations. I thought offensively our ball movement complemented our ability to be able to score too from the back half. So very pleasing. We know we've still got a lot of work to do. We've got a 6-day break moving into the Kangaroos, but the boys are deriving a lot of confidence out of what we're doing, and the pressure up the field has been sensational, and that makes life a lot easier.
G'day, Dan Jordan here, basically filling in for Rob Harding, who's the Oppo and team offence coach. Rob was actually struck down this morning, so VFL having a bye, I was called up off the bench into the box. Some really pleasing signs, particularly in the way that we started, and a 7-goal first term, being able to find a really good balance of ball movement in terms of going inside 50 and attacking the last line and getting some one-on-one contests, but also being able to lower the eyes and go inside 50 and give our forwards, obviously Waller's had a good day, those guys hitting up at the ball. So the game was probably really won or lost in that first quarter. We were able to keep that momentum going in the second, come in at 9 goals to 3 at half-time, and to Brisbane's credit, we probably knew they'd come out and challenge us a fair bit. They lifted their work rate, lifted their intensity, lifted their pressure around the ball. I thought our guys, particularly our defensive half, stood up really, really well and defended, and even though Brisbane put the clamps on us and it was a bit tough to try and get the ball out of their defensive half on occasion, when we did, we actually went inside 50 and were really efficient to be able to kick goals in there. So obviously a couple of our forwards I thought were outstanding in that, in terms of Waller's kicked 7 goals, Mitch Brown competing, all those guys to be able to enable us to have less numbers behind the contest and still be able to do that and be able to bring the ball to ground and be able to compete at ground level. So a really pleasing effort in terms of that. Was a good balance of ball movement between going quick and then also being able to go slow and be calm and composed. And in terms of Brisbane and what they brought, we were able to upset their structure a little bit, particularly in the second half, and had to throw another number or two behind the ball, which allowed guys like Hooker and Hurley and then to be able to come off and be able to intercept. So a really pleasing effort from our boys. I'll shoot back to the VFL next week. No doubt Rob will be back in, but job done.